Hello again, everyone. Saka here, and welcome back to NASCAR Racing 2003 season, the 2022 Full Circle Racing Designs Next Gen mod. And we're here at the Tricky Triangle for 16 laps at Pocono. And as you can see, we're pretty much in no man's land in our X4 Tides of Avarice Camaro. Brandon had a little bit better of a qualifying effort in his 27 A-Shock Toyota, more up towards the front. So we'll see if this car improves its handling at all. It's a really tough track for me to get a hold of. Pocono and me have a sordid past. We'll see if we can make the best of it behind Todd Gilliland, and green flag is out, getting that big pull down this long front straightaway. Land a Boeing 747 on it, apparently. I'm going to need to boot up Flight Sim and give that a try. But getting down into turn one, we can get behind Corey LaJoie. Easy does it. See if we can roll that bottom, and if they start really branching out 3 wide, we might get a run down the long pond straight into the tunnel turn. Still 2x2x2 with really nowhere to go. We can take things a little bit easy here. We will have to make a pit stop, so strategy might come into play if we take just right sides. We don't need a whole lot of fuel. We don't need a full tank, but we do need to fill up at some point. So it's just minding our own business here past Todd Gilliland, getting that drive down the straightaway. Everyone pretty much in one big pack. Denny Hamlin starting to gap Ryan Blaney just a bit. Good run out of 3. We can really get that momentum under Gilliland and Hill, get the pull off of LaJoie. And I don't know if Corey is going to slide up behind Harrison Burton. We'll take a C. And indeed, LaJoie moves up a little bit. There's Brandon 3 wide up in front under Busher and Custer, right behind Christopher Bell. So Brandon making his way forward as well, and this is what we like to see. Haley to the inside, almost blocking Cody Ware. Really no one up there. Let's give Haley a little bit of a push to help him clear Ware into the tunnel turn, but we definitely do not want to be 3 wide. Going into that turn really slick. LaJoie really fighting hard on that outside, not really making up a whole lot of positions here. It almost feels like turn 3 exit is where we can make the most, but Gilliland on the outside trying to pressure. We'll see if we get the drive off here and just barely clear him off of the front stretch. And now that we're single file, we can choose our battles a little bit better. Not really sacrifice a whole lot of speed going through here. The pack still up front with Baleki to the inside of Cindric. McDowell up there as well with Alex Bowman fighting in that group. And if they stay side by side, we can get the run off of LaJoie down Long Pond and might get to the inside under Cody Ware here. But those leaders are really starting to check out in clean air here. Well, we're sort of mired in traffic, but you know, everyone is still fairly close together. So as long as we stay within reach of that 51 down the straightaway, we'll be pulled up. Ideally, we want to break the draft off of LaJoie. Really free on entry, trying to get the power down. And with them side by side, we might be able to get a pull off of Burton with them forced to run 2 wide, and it does look like LaJoie is losing a bit of the draft. So if these guys stay side by side, we'll pull right up to them, have a better turn 1 entry and exit than they can, and that'll set us up really well going into turn 2, I believe. Good run down that long pond, and we managed to gain ever so closely. Corey LaJoie dropping back out of drafting range, so no pressure from behind. Those cars are dropping back. And a good turn 2 for us here. I think we're going to be set up well for turn 3 and the front straightaway. Getting that pull off of Haley to the outside of Cody Ware. Cody moves up. Whoa, and Corey LaJoie out of nowhere coming back from, wow, where did they get that run? LaJoie and Hill to the inside, so bring everyone back together. It's like a big old DRS train in Formula 1. You can't really get away from the guy behind you. But we should be set up well to the inside of Cody Ware. We'll drive down to the bottom, see if we can get to his inside. Indeed we can. And get that pull off the 31 here of Haley. That car still to the, oh wow, he dropped back. I thought he was still to the outside, but Cody Ware really rolled out of the gas and gave us that line. Much appreciative, that is for sure. So we'll make up as many spots as we can before the pit stops, and we may do some strategy. I'm thinking some right sides. Back here, I can't really push the tires much as I really have nowhere to go. So it's not like we're driving hard trying to make all of these passes. We're just sort of staying in line here. So we may be set up for a right side tire change, and we can gain 4 or 5 seconds, I think, on all these guys, which would put us much closer to the top 10, that's for sure. It all comes down to how much they get stretched out before those pit stops and how fast we are after those pit stops. If right side tires are a little bit faster than their old worn out 4 tires are. Good run down the long pond. We will get to the inside of Haley here, set up behind BJ MacLeod. Not used to really racing with these guys back here. And Haley fights back on that outside a bit, but ultimately gives us the line, thankfully. Tunnel turn is hard enough without someone really on your outside making life difficult. But luckily this pack can't get away from each other, so as long as we can stay in touch, we'll be pulled along, and this is what I like to see. A big hole in the air in front of us. We'll get a big pull off of BJ MacLeod here, get closer to Ty Dillon and his petty teammate Eric Jones. And it looks like it's starting to spread out in front of Michael McDowell there, up to Chris Buescher and Josh Belicki. So we'll have a little bit of a hole to get into if we can navigate this traffic here. Let's move to the inside of the 42. See if we can help Eric Jones move forward a bit to get past his teammate. Didn't want to go 3 wide inside turn 2. I don't think I could hold it with much speed. We're set up well for turn 3 though. We'll take a peek and hope that Ty Dillon knows that we're there. Indeed, we can get to his inside, roll that bottom, settle in behind the 43, and yeah, Haley settles in behind us. And now it is the gravy train. Everyone pretty much single file now, so this is where we have to start moving forward if we can. We should have a good turn 1 against BJ MacLeod. He moves to the top, gives us the bottom. We'll nip the curb just a little bit, sacrifice a little bit of speed. Does BJ roll out? Indeed he does. We can use all of the exit there and get out behind Ricky Stenhouse. So hopefully we did not lose Ricky in this exchange. If he gets slowed up in turn 2, we can make the pull down the straightaway with him and Harrison Burton nose to tail. Looks like Chris Buescher out front trying to go side by side. That will help bring that pack closer to us. Looking in the mirror for BJ to go dive bombing, but BJ is too far back to make a real charge at it there. So let's come down first, try to get on new tires before everyone else. Luckily, it's a nice, easy pit road to get down. We don't want to speed 3,500 in second, and we are pretty close to the start. Let's go, boys, 2 tires. Right sides are on, waiting for that fuel, no damage to repair, and away we go. We'll see if we can gain up any time on these guys. Luckily, Pocono is long enough that you can make a green flag stop without the yellow coming out. If the yellow were to come out now, that would be extremely advantageous for us for sure. We would leapfrog everyone and be in the catbird seat, almost playing this like a road course. But let's get up to speed, clear in the mirror, and it's going to be awful lonely until everyone comes down pit road. Thankfully, we're not a lap down, so if the yellow does come out, like I said, we are sitting pretty. Let's get these right sides up to temperature and pressure, and we'll see if this car handles any better. It was loose in and tight through the middle, so we'll see if these right side tires pay dividends once we get some heat in them. Turn 2 is a little bit sketch as the tires are still fairly new, but I think by the time we get through turn 1 or turn 2, they'll be up to scratch. We'll take a look to the left side here, see if any others are coming down pit road. Possibly, I can't see over that wall. Is that Brandon coming down? Nope, that's just the ambulance. So we are still all alone, but I think that's Brandon there. coming off pit road and in between turn 1 and 2 now. So I don't know what our gap was relative to him before the pit stops. He was definitely in front of us, probably by about that much. So a similar strategy for Brandon, right sides, and now he will be in the catbird seat if the yellow were to come out now. But as strung out as they were, I'm thinking this might have the feel of a green race. So hopefully the laps that we're putting down now are miles better than the AI for these next couple laps. Then once they get up to temperature, we'll see how we equalize compared to them. So we should come there. A bunch of cars are on pit road. We'll see where we shake out. We were behind Ricky Stenhouse when everything was all said and done. So there's Chris Buescher there, and I think Buescher was ahead of us for a bit. So we may have leapfrog a few, and we'll see if we can get them while their tires are still coming up to temperature, especially if they did 4. They're going to be fairly slow this first few laps. Maybe we can take advantage. And the most important thing is we have drafting help. It's kind of like a super speedway coming off of pit road. If you're in the draft, you've got a chance, especially with them going side by side in front of us like that. We'll see if we can try to close up on Chris Buescher here. He was really slow entering 3. We might be able to get to his outside. Oh, Buescher moves up just a bit. We'll roll out, get back in line, and there is Balicki and Custer. So if Buescher can pull Balicki, we can be pulled by Buescher. And here comes more off of pit road, looking to the left. There's Ricky Stenhouse there. So that is the gap that we've gained. Harrison Burton. And around the outside of Briscoe and Keselowski as well. Can we make it happen? Let's get that pull off of his Roush, Fenway, Keselowski, Goodwrench Service Plus, whatever racing team. And get to the inside on the 17. Good move to the inside, and we should be in touch with Balicki. Stenhouse, or Buescher rolls out. I'm used to Stenhouse being in the 17, even though he hasn't been in that for quite some time. Into turn 3, so better braking for us here. We were able to close the gap by a few car lengths entering turn 3. That sets us up well for the middle corner speed. Yeah, we've left Chris Buescher now really getting that toe off of Balicki. Should be an easy pass here. Here comes a car off of pit road that looks like Christopher Bell. And we remember him up front battling with Brandon. So overall, gained a lot of time on Bell. Probably a 4-tire change as well. And I like the fact that he's down there to the inside. Even though we're under Bowman, we can get that tug off of Bell. Get in line before turn 2. Oh, big crash out in front. Cars in the wall. Let's go down to the bottom. Chase Elliott. Don't come down, Chase. Ooh, that was tight. Let's race back to the flag. It's still 2003 rules, so around Cendric, can we get Bell? And this may be the race. I'm not sure how many laps to go. We're going to have to take a look at the replay. Nice drive off of Bell. Good tug off of Bubba Wallace. And that will be the yellow flag. Let's take a look at what brought out that yellow. So lap 13, it is a hornet's nest. Chase Elliott to the outside of Truex and Harvick down the Long Pond Straight. This is where it all goes bad. Truex just ever so slightly comes up in the chase, not giving him any room. Doors Chase. Oh, wow. And just like that, the track is blocked. Chase and Martin Truex Jr. involved. Here comes Chase. Oh, and Alex Bowman with a ton of a hit there. Stenhouse and Corey LaJoie as well. Multi-car accident in turn 2. And that will indeed end the race under caution. Ryan Blaney with his 2nd win of the year. 2nd place, Kyle Busch. 3rd place, Joey Logano. 4th place, Denny Hamlin. 5th place, Brandon. 6th place, Eric Almirola. 7th place, Kevin Harvick. 8th place, Kyle Larson. 9th place, Daniel Suarez. And rounding out your top 10 is Tyler Reddick. And a 17th place for us, considering how we started in the back. I think that was a good strategy call. That was probably everything we were able to get today. So the standings after Pocono, myself and Brandon still tied with 7 wins apiece. Ryan Blaney solidifies his 3rd place with 2 wins. Austin Dillon is your cutoff driver, 6 over Kyle Busch, but 6 behind Tyler Reddick. 15 back to Suarez, 18 to Wallace, and Chase Elliott with a massive hit, down 28 points. And we head to a bit of an unknown at the Indianapolis Road Course next week. But that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for Indy Road. Take care.